We took this client from losing 50 followers every single day on Instagram with an engagement rate of 0.2%, and within a month turned it into 100 followers per day positive and a 600% increase in the engagement rate up to 1.2%. Let me show you how. And whilst 100 followers per day may not seem like something massive to you, we've got accounts that are gaining 1, 2, sometimes 3,000 followers per day organically. I think this is a really realistic target for a lot of you that anyone can get to. So let me walk you through how we did it. So first things first, before you start growing an account, it's important to understand why the account is not growing or why it is not receiving engagement, so you can first fix that problem. Now, the main issue with this client is they had bought into a celebrity/loop giveaway, which by the way are absolute trash. And essentially it had filled their account with what were real followers, but the same as fake followers. They had 20,000 people following them, but none of them were engaging with their content because they didn't care. They just followed them to enter a giveaway. So the main issue with this client was they had a bunch of followers but no fans or engagement, and every single day people were unfollowing them because they were checking their following lists. They realized that they didn't even know who this account was, and so they unfollowed, which is a similar situation you might be in if you're just starting out brand new on Instagram, except obviously you won't be losing followers. And when you're just starting out, you should also get a way better engagement percentage. So you're probably at an advantage if you're brand new. Now, some other common issues that we see with other clients is that their content doesn't fit the people that they're trying to reach. It doesn't serve them. They might be missing some of the basics, which I'll cover in this video, or they're simply not consistent enough. And then potentially a fourth option is that they just used the wrong growth strategies in the past or haven't been posting for a long period of time. Now, I'm not going to show you the username of this client for their own privacy, but let's get into the strategies we use to turn this around. Number one, before you can start growing an account, it's really important to optimize the profile so that you can convert as many people as possible from profile visitors into followers and engaged fans. And by doing this, it allows you to get more followers and fans with no extra effort. Because if you're driving the same amount of profile visitors every single day, and yet you do the work once to optimize your profile, then you're going to be starting to grow faster and faster every single day because a high percentage of people are following. You need to set this up so it really speaks to your target audience. It looks great and it has some form of authority to increase conversions. Now, when you do this, you could easily improve your follower conversion rate from 10% to 30% or even more, which instantly triples your growth and compounds your growth even more over time, because as you start growing faster, you get more engagement, you get more people sharing your content, and you're going to just explode. And also what people don't factor in is that you might be getting 0 follower growth per day because you're gaining 10 followers and losing 10 followers. If you then increase your conversion rate from 10 to 30, you're now gaining 30 followers, losing 10. So you've gone from no growth to 20 followers a day, and then you can build on top of that. Now, you can establish what your follower conversion rate is by looking at the profile visits inside of your analytics over the past week, and then look at the new followers gained. Then what you're gonna do is divide the new followers by profile visitors, and then that'll give you 0 point something, times that by 100, and that gives you the number percent that your profile converts at. So for example, on Millionaire.Dream, we had a pretty slow week and we only gained 8,444 new followers from 23,701 profile visitors. So if you take 8,444 divided by 23,701, that gives you 0.356. Times that by 100, and that gives you 35.6%. Now, conversion rates can vary from niche to niche, but 14% to 24% is, I would say, good, maybe slightly above normal. And then anything over 25% is a really good conversion rate to have. So what you want to do is split test things to have a good understanding of what works. Tidy up your bio, give yourself a nice clean profile picture, try and have a clean, memorable name and username for your account. Don't have like a spammy bio. Don't have a bunch of random story highlights. Just really speak to your audience. Think, would this appeal to my target audience? If the answer is yes, good job. If the answer is no, try to tweak some stuff. All of these things can play into your conversion rate. So split test one thing at a time, look at what gets you results, and then go from there. Now, number 2 is content optimization. So now that we've got the profile set up and converting well, it's time to start putting out some content, which will actually also help with profile conversion rates, because the more, like, the better your content is, when someone lands on it, the higher the chance that they're going to follow. You could have the best bio, username, and profile picture in the world, But if your content looks ugly and is boring and not valuable, then no one's going to convert into followers. And so by optimizing the content, not only does it help with that, but it's going to help you get more engagement, which is going to lead to more reach, which is going to lead to more growth. Now, there are a few things you need to understand in content optimization. It first comes down to really understanding who your target audience is, what they want to learn, and then how you can provide that to them in a good looking, presentable way. Again, this comes down to a lot of testing and trials. Try different things out, poll your audience so you understand what they're looking for. Look at the target customers you are looking to get for your business, and then how can you speak to them with your content. This is literally what we'll do for our clients. We'll go out there and we'll test different types of content, different formats of content to see what works best for their niche and their target audience specifically. And even after years of experience working with clients, creating content and knowing what works, it's still always good to test with individual clients. Now, one of the tools that you can use to analyze your content and see what is performing the best is the Instagram analytics, just purely on your Instagram account. If you want to go a little bit further and get more data, more insight, and packaged up nicer, you can use the likes of Flick, which is a tool that I use for my hashtags and looking at the performance of my content to see how we can improve it, both on my accounts and clients. I'll leave a link below for that if you want to get a free trial. And as mentioned, you can also use the Instagram analytics. And if you are a business owner that's posting educational content online and looking to grow your audience to generate more customers, that is exactly who we help at our agency. So you're more than welcome to book a call below and get on the phone with me and see if we can help you out. If you don't fit that niche, you're more than welcome to grab my entirely free ebook, which is also linked below and has tons of stuff in it for you. Number 3 is hashtag optimization. Optimization, you'll find, is a bit of a trend in what we do. It's all about optimizing your profile, your content, your hashtags, and the rest of the stuff we're going to talk about. Now, after we sort out the profile and the content, the next thing you want to look at is hashtags. Now, hashtags, I think a lot of people overcomplicate and probably overstate the value of. However, they are still a great way to get awesome reach on your content and both speak to the algorithm as to who you are trying to reach, who your content is for, and also just get in front of new people. So they're a great tool. And the good thing about this is not only do they allow you to rank on hashtags themselves, but if you correctly hashtag your content, Instagram will put it onto the explore page of people who are interested in that content, which allows you to get some explore page reach, especially when you've optimized your content so that it is interesting, valuable, and eye-catching. Because if you do that, they will push it out on the explore page and you can reach more people. Now, currently, there are sort of 2 popularized hashtag strategies that work well. Now, the first one is the old school one. Use as many hashtags as you can, make sure they're targeted to your niche. Don't use ones that are too big because the competition on them is massive and it'll be hard to rank. But don't use ones that are so small that even if you are at the #1 spot on that hashtag, no one is looking at it. Find that in between range, which is going to be different for an account with 1,000 followers as an account with 1 million followers, because what is considered too much competition is very different for those accounts. Now, the way that you would find these hashtags is with the tool that I mentioned before called Flick. What you can do is grab a free trial with my link below, connect your account so the AI can take a look at your account, look at your engagement, look at your reach, look at how many people are commenting on your posts, all of these things, and then work out exactly what is too much competition and too little competition. These are called smart filters. You just tap that button, it does it all for you, put in a keyword and then select the relevant hashtags, and within 5 minutes you've got a set of 30 hashtags. The alternative to this, which is entirely free, is you go onto Instagram, you search for a hashtag in your niche, you look at that hashtag, you look at the average engagement on each of the posts that have ranked in the top 9 posts, you look at how long ago they were posted, you look at the amount of followers that the accounts have, and you compare that to your engagement, your follower count, and so on to determine whether you think you can rank on that hashtag or not. And then if it's yes, you add it to your list. If it's no, you find another one. You repeat that until you've got 30 hashtags. And that is pretty much why I suggest Flick, because it'll literally save you hours of time and do a much better job. Now, the other strategy that is sort of newly been popularized is the idea of having like 8 to 11 hashtags that are highly targeted. So you get your list of 30 and you pick the 8 to 11 most targeted hashtags that you can. Now, the idea behind this is less hashtags, but more targeted gives the algorithm a better understanding of what your content is all about so they can show it to more targeted people. When more targeted people see it, they're going to engage with it much better than more generic people. And from that, you'll get more engagement, Instagram will push it out to more people, and you will grow faster. Now, based on my testing, I have found that larger accounts, say accounts over 50,000 followers, I would suggest using 30 hashtags. That is what has worked really well on Millionaire Dream for us. That has allowed us to reach sometimes hundreds of thousands of people from hashtags on a single post, 300,000 people sometimes. However, for smaller accounts that are just getting started, I would suggest 8 to 11. That's what I use on @Cleverpreneur, one of my accounts. And by using 8 to 11, it better speaks to the algorithm and we get to push our content out. However, as I said, test both if you would like to, see what works best for you and go from there. For this client that we're working with, that we got these great results with, we are using 8 to 11. That's what works well, as even though they've got 20,000 plus followers, a lot of them are not that engaged, and so we really want to speak to the algorithm about what our content's all about. Once you're getting thousands of likes per photo, the algorithm already knows who your content is for. They don't need you to hashtag it to get that, so you're just trying to use as many as possible to grow fast. Now, number 4, we're not going to put optimization in the title of this one. It is just plain old simple. Instagram Reels. Now, the previous 3 steps are sort of like laying the foundations. Optimize your profile for conversions, optimize your content to reach new people and serve your audience, optimize your hashtags to get in front of new people. That is a winning formula on its own, and you can grow doing just that. And this took us a couple of weeks with this client to get these things right and get them performing well. Now, it'll likely take you a little bit longer if you don't have the experience, but still it's only going to be 1 to 2 months. But once we had all of that in place, it was time to add the fuel to the fire to really speed up the results, which is Instagram Reels. If you can find a way to incorporate Instagram Reels into your strategy, you can see a massive improvement in your growth. You entirely can grow without Reels. It is totally possible, despite what some think, but they are a great tool to speed up your results. For this client, they are not a personal brand, which we mostly work with personal brands, experts of some form. However, this one was not. So we actually had to go out there and find other clips from interviews, from podcasts, from speaking, from movies, etc., that had been put together, and we would add to them and post them on behalf of the client that fitted their niche really well. And this helped us amplify the reach as they got pushed out to more and more people, which then allowed us to grow faster, because currently it is much easier to hit the explore page and get pushed onto hashtags and shared around with a reel than it is with a post. Partially because Instagram have unlocked it a little bit in the algorithm, it feels like, but partially because that short form video content is just more interesting for people to watch than an image. It's helped really take us from like 10 to 20 followers a day to getting 100 plus followers a day. If you can, try and find a way to incorporate Reels into your strategy. Whether you have your customers create Reels with your products, influencers creating Reels with your products, you yourself creating Reels with your products, maybe you're creating educational Reels, maybe you're sharing other people's Reels, maybe you're reacting to Reels. Find a way to incorporate it, and this will get you awesome results. Now, the 5th and penultimate thing that we did to help this client get results was the $80 strategy. And this is something that was sort of coined by Gary Vee, and I've talked about on my channel many times, so most of you probably know about it. And that is the strategy of simply going out there and engaging with other accounts in your niche by commenting on their posts, liking their posts, and sometimes going as far as just following them to get yourself in front of them to then have them come back, check out your content, and convert into a follower. And despite many people thinking that this doesn't work as well in 2021, it still generates awesome results. We can generate an additional 10, 15, 20 plus followers per day from doing this, which is a really nice boost to your growth, especially if you're just starting out and just trying to get things going. Because if you've got 1,000 followers, being able to get 15 highly targeted people to your account per month is like an additional 500 people from one growth strategy. And then if you add on great content that they can engage with, targeted hashtags that will help you reach more people, Instagram Reels, you can easily bump that number up to 50 to 100 to a couple hundred followers per day, which is what we've done with this client. So what we'd do is we would find other accounts in their niche who were posting the content similar to theirs, and we would go and engage on their accounts. We'd comment on them, we'd reply to comments, we'd like their posts, we'd like people's comments, and that would bring people back to our profile. And then from there, they would see the content, they would see the bio, and they would ideally convert into followers. So this is something that I would recommend everyone does. And if you don't have a ton of time to do this, you can either hire someone to do it. Our agency does this for clients. You can use an app like the $1.80 tool, which I will leave a link for a free trial down below, which allows you to sort of better systemize it. Or you can just do it in your downtime. So maybe if you commute to work on the bus, you spend 5 minutes replying to comments and commenting on other people's content from your phone, or maybe on your break, or when you're just chilling out and you're not really doing much. Instead of aimlessly scrolling through reels or aimlessly scrolling through content, which I think we are all guilty of, go comment on it. Every time you see an interesting reel that you like, go and leave a comment on it. It's getting your profile in front of new people to grow your audience. And then finally, number 6, the key factor that we use to grow this client and that you can use to grow your account is the plain, boring thing you've heard 100 times: consistency. You need to follow those above 5 steps day in, day out for a while, at least a few weeks, at least a month, to revive a dead account or to start building your account from scratch. If you are building from zero, it'll take you slightly longer. If you are trying to revive an account that used to have an audience, it'll be slightly faster. If you have experience, again, it'll be slightly faster. But either way, you have to consistently put in the effort every single day to go out and get results. Now, I saw a guy that I follow remake an old quote from, I believe, a Stoic philosopher, which said, "The algorithm does what you repeatedly do. Growth then is not a hack, but a habit." Aristotle. So that was from Stephen Miller, and he obviously changed the name. And I think that sums it up really well. Put in the efforts daily for months and you will see the results. And that's pretty much what we've done to turn around this client and go from losing 50 followers a day to gaining 100 plus per day. We optimize the profile to convert profile visitors into followers. We then optimize the content to provide value to this audience and to go out and reach new people. We then added targeted hashtags that really speak to the algorithm about what our content is all about, and that allowed us to get put in front of the right people who would then enjoy this content, who would then come to our profile and convert into a follower. We then added reels to add fuel to the fire and speed this up. We used the $1.80 strategy to get in front of new people. And then we started, well, not started, but then we were doing this consistently for over a month. And now this client, we will probably push them on the road to 200 followers, 500 followers, 1,000 followers a day eventually. And that just comes from us consistently doing these exact same things day in, day out for another month or two. And we will be easily at 200, 300, 400, 500 plus followers a day. Now, as mentioned earlier in the video, if you are some sort of educational business, putting out content, trying to teach people stuff, help them, and you've got great products and great services that really help people, and you want help with this, you want someone to do it who's got experience, then you are more than welcome to book a free discovery call with me down below, and we'll see if we can help. We'll see if we can help. Every single one of you else that doesn't fit that, I've put together a free ebook which helps you crush it on Instagram, and you can find that in the description down below. You just got to put in your email, you'll get access to the ebook, you'll get access to a 4-part free training series of some of my best videos and tutorials. You'll get a list of all the best tools that I recommend with free trials, and you get added to my weekly newsletter after that. So that's it from me. Hope this video helped, and I will see you all in the next one.